what is good, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to talk about software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. So let's get started with software as a service. This is a pretty simple term, and what it essentially means is a fully working software which has a certain number of features is offered as a service at a nominal cost of at a nominal, not a nominal cost, but it could be higher as well. It depends on who the vendor is, but yeah, it's offered at a cost which is either monthly or yearly. So an example of this can be something which I'm currently using is Snapify.io. When I say I'm using that in a free version. I've not upgraded because I do not feel the need, and I'm also learning Figma. So yeah, that helps me as well. So yeah, coming back to software as a service, essentially a working software with certain number of features is offered to you, and you can start using it. When do you prefer a software as a service or a SaaS product? Is what you want from the software, and if there is a product which is available, you can buy the subscription and you can start using it. What are the advantages? As I mentioned, the software comes with a set number of features, and if they satisfy your requirement, you can just start using it right off the bat. You do not need any IT training and all. You might need some degree of IT training, but because the software is pretty the software comes with all the features you need, you can just start working with it. The IT costs are significantly lower because the product is already available, and the only cost you have to bear is the subscription cost. There are free this has a free version, luckily, but for more complicated products, I'm sure it is paid and it won't be free. The limitations are again obvious, just like the advantages, that the software only offers of certain number of features. Any additional requirements have to be requested, and they may or may not be entertained. Also, there might be a question of lock-in with the vendor. For example, if I click on upgrade, it asks me to pay either a monthly fee of $9, which is higher, and yearly fee. So if I choose to pay yearly fee, then I pay upfront, and I'm stuck using this platform for 1 year. Moving on to the second one, which is platform as a service. Platform as a service is pretty straightforward. Herein, the platform is available for rent. So what I mean by a platform is, if you're someone who is into hardcore development and you only want to concentrate on writing the application, but where and how it is deployed is not as critical, or the security aspect of the underlying infra is also not critical, and you do not want to spend higher IT costs on infrastructure related work, then platform as a service is a very good solution. For example, if you're just practicing or building some portfolio products, then platform as a service could be a very good choice for you. So if you see, one of the examples is Heroku, which I'm already logged into, and I have some Python applications which are deployed. As you can see, most of them are just practice projects. So yeah, you can just concentrate on writing the code, and the infra and everything is managed by the vendor. So those are the advantages as well. What are the limitations? Is you do not have any control over the underlying infrastructure. There could be a vendor lock-in as well to use this platform. For the free versions, limited functionalities are available, and obviously there is no control over infra, so security and all aspects come into picture when using platform as a service. The last one is infrastructure as a service. It's pretty straightforward. In simple terms, it is renting someone else's computer or any other infrastructure. Who do you rent it from? Is big corporations. They set up these huge data centers, and everything from procuring the hardware to setting up power supply, backups, the security of the data centers is handled by the infrastructure as a service. All you need to do is pay for a subscription, and you get to fire up the machines of your required configuration, and you are supposed to pay for the amount of the kind of machine you spun up and the amount of time you use it for. So that is infrastructure as a service. In simple terms, you rent someone else's computer. DigitalOcean, where you can fire up a lot of Linux machines, or there are also the cloud service vendors such as Amazon AWS or Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud. Those are also popular examples of infrastructure as a service. What are the advantages? The advantages are obvious, that because you're getting control over the infrastructure, security of the infrastructure, handling of the access, and everything can be controlled by you. Stability and scalability are guaranteed because these data centers, they are redundant, they are available in various zones. So depending on where your audience or users of the applications are, you can spin up these machines in that region, and they'll offer you better performance. Other services such as load balancers, networking, and also is offered usually by these infrastructure as a service as complementary services, and you can take advantage of that as well. Let's talk about the limitations now. What are the limitations? The first and the foremost, which is obvious, is higher IT costs, because you're spinning up a new computer. Essentially, setting up the application, deployments, and everything has to be done by your team. So you require skilled people for this. Then there is an additional cost of maintaining, you have to pay a higher cost to avail these services as well. Now if your infrastructure is shared, I mean the cost will obviously get lower as the users or the number of people who share this infrastructure code grows, but until that point you have to pay more fee as well. The other and the most important limitation is that your data gets shared across, uh, your data which is uploaded to certain servers, it gets shared, and the IaaS provider or the other users of those machines can possibly have access to data. So that is the most important limitation, that the data is shared and there is a certain risk of a data breach. And to quickly summarize, software as a service is a working software is provided as a service for a set monthly or a yearly recurring fee. Platform as a service, you write the code, and to deploy that code, underlying platform is provided by a vendor. And infrastructure as a service, you essentially rent out someone else's computer or someone else's servers or infrastructure. When do you use software as a service? When you have a certain functionality which you want to do, and if the software fulfills it, you rent the software and you start working on it right off the bat. Platform as a service, when you do not you want to concentrate on writing code but do not care about the underlying infra much, that is when platform as a service can be used. Infrastructure as a service, when you are when safety is critical to you, and you are happy to pay the higher, happy to train your IT folks to deploy, install the machines, do the setups and all. Infrastructure as a service is a very good choice because it offers full control over the data and security. So thank you for watching this video. If you did find the content useful, do consider liking the video, sharing it with your friends, and if you're not already done so, do subscribe to the channel.